Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing an unboxing, taking a first look at the Samsung Galaxy A31. Let's check it out. Okay, so the Samsung Galaxy A31 is a phone that released earlier this year, early 2020, and I'm going to unbox the phone, give you the specs, and just take you around the phone a little bit, some settings, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to start you off here with the specs. Now the display is a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED 1080 by 2400 resolution display with a 20:9 aspect ratio with 411 ppi. Now the processor, Samsung went with a MediaTek Helio P65 processor, which is the MT6768 octa-core processor with a Mali G52 GPU. And this phone comes in a variation of RAM internal storage. You can get a 64 gig, 4 gigabyte RAM model, 128 gig, 4 gigabyte RAM model, 128 gig, 6 gigabyte RAM model, and a 128 gig, 8 gigabyte RAM model. Now, I'm not sure of the RAM of this particular model here. This one here does have 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Now, for the cameras, we have a quad camera setup. We got a 48 megapixel wide angle lens with an aperture of f2.0. We got an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens with a 122 degree field of view with an aperture of f2.2, 5 megapixel macro at f2.4, and 5 megapixel depth sensor at f2.4. Can record at full 1080 30 frames per second. The front facing camera is a 20 megapixel wide angle lens with aperture of f2.2 and records at 1080p at 30 frames per second. This phone runs Android 10 and has Samsung's One UI 2.0 skin. And it is a GSM only device, so AT&T, T-Mobile, all their MVNOs will work here just fine. This phone has a 5,000 milliamp hour LiPo non-removable battery with 15 watt fast charging. Has Wi-Fi 802.11 ABGN AC dual band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, USB Type-C, under display fingerprint scanners, optical fingerprint scanner, and comes in Prism Crush Black, Prism Crush Blue, Prism Crush Red, and Prism Crush White. Now this phone here will run you around $250. Depending on where you buy it, you might get it a bit cheaper, maybe a bit more expensive. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get here into this phone. Go ahead and slip it out of the case here, just like this. And on top here we have this. So we'll see just what comes in the box here. Maybe it came with a case. Hopefully it came with a case, and yes, it did. So I'm really glad to see that it came with, yeah, a little booklet, who cares? And I'm glad to see it came with a gel skin case here. And in here, of course, we have the device. We'll put it aside for a moment. Now in here, we do get your 15 watt adaptive fast charging wall adapter there. SIM ejection tool. We also get a pair of earbuds, it looks like. So, yeah, really nice set of earbuds, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And, of course, here is your USB Type-C charging cable. So, standard stuff here. It's nice to see everything that came in the box for the A31. So, I'll go ahead, put all this away, and we'll look at the phone. Okay, so the phone is now in hand. You see there the Infinity U display, quad camera, on-screen fingerprint. Let's go ahead and pull off this plastic here. And this phone looks really nice. This is the Prism Crush Blue. Of course, I like the color red in my phones, but I couldn't find a red one anywhere, so I went with the Prism Crush Blue, and it looks really good. There's your quad camera setup with your flash. On the right here, your power button, volume rocker. On top, you got a secondary microphone. On the left, you have your SIM ejector right there. And on the bottom fire and speaker, microphone, USB-C charging port, and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And on the front, little teardrop notch up top there, 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display. Let's go ahead and power this phone on. There we go, Samsung Galaxy A31. So interested to try this phone out. Like I said, a price of around $250 for this phone, and the specs seem to be pretty decent. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get it all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now, we'll say that Samsung makes some really nice looking devices. This Prism Crush Blue here, the color shifts and all like that, it looks really good. This plastic back, or glastic, I think what they call it, but it's just a plastic back and build and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'll go ahead and power the phone on, little animation going on there. You can swipe up here, go into your PIN, pattern, or password, unlike your phone. Got the face unlock up yonder, as you can see, and you have your in-display fingerprint scanner. Let's try that out now. And it's a bit slow, and I've not had the best of luck using either finger. It says keep it on the sensor longer. Let's try it with the left one again. It said no match. And try it again, no match. Try the right finger. There we go. So maybe I got to reset them up. I don't really know, but I've had a lot of issues with Samsung fingerprint scanners in display. So also has face unlock. Let's check that out now. And there you go. Looking at it. So not bad, pretty quick, not bad at all, as you see there. Now this is just your basic Samsung experience here. It has some bloatware installed. Now there is, of course, your welcome to Samsung Daily. Swipe up here for all of your apps. Has Spotify, your Samsung apps, Google apps, of course, Facebook's on everything. You got Netflix there pre-installed, some games, stuff like that that can be disabled or deleted. Now, first of all, just look at some of the basics here. Let's look at the dialer, just your typical standard dialer here. Let's go into the messaging app, and we'll start up a message and look at the keyboard. So here is the keyboard. Your emojis are up here. So there are plenty of emojis to choose from. I know that's asked a lot to show in these unboxings. So plenty of emojis here in the stock keyboard. Now pull the drop down here, and you will see your typical stuff. Your Wi-Fi, your vibrate, Bluetooth, flashlight, link to Windows, secure folders, always on display, edge lighting, Dolby Atmos, start mode, stuff like that. But we'll get into all of that later on. Now, going to the settings here, you have your connections. So you have your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, just stuff like that. You have your sound and vibration. You have your notifications, your display. So you have light mode, or you have your dark mode, which I will leave it on dark mode because it looks better. Turn that adaptive brightness off. Blue light filter. Screen mode is vivid or natural. I'll leave it at vivid for right now. Have your font size, screen zoom, screen timeout. Let's change that to 5 minutes. And you get your home screen. You can customize your home screen by changing your grids, 4x5, 5x5, all that stuff. Completely customizable here. And home screen layout. You have your home and app screens, or just your home only screen there. So we'll leave it on home and app drawer and all that kind of good stuff there. Edge screen. So you got your edge screen here on this device, and edge lighting as well, so nice feature there. Back out of there. Accidental touch protection, touch sensitivity, slow charging information, all that kind of good stuff there. Wallpapers, you know, a lot of things you can download here on these Samsung devices, so I'm going to skip all of that. Lock screen, you have your pattern, face, fingerprints, all of that stuff. Always on display, secure lock, wallpapers, clock style, just blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Got advanced features. So get your side key, which is quick launch camera, or you can open a different app. Link to Windows, reduce animations, motion and gestures. So lift to wake, double tap to wake. You got your smart alert, easy mute, palm swipe to capture, and swipe to call or send messages. Typical Samsung stuff that you see on all Samsung devices here. Digital well-being, device care. Now this phone, let's see the RAM. I think it's 4 gigabytes of RAM. And yes, so this phone does have 4 gigabytes of RAM, as you can see right there. 4 gigabytes of RAM here in this device, and memory. There is 104 gigabytes available out of 128 gigs. So that's not bad. And I think you can add an SD card slot as well. Haven't really checked all of that, but you got all that stuff there. We'll optimize everything here, get it to 100%. And there we go, fully optimized and good to go. Now the battery is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Watch us see how that does here on this device. Now this phone don't have any kind of high refresh rate display, nothing like that. It's not IP rated, no water, I mean nothing like that. No wireless charging, I don't believe, nothing like that. It's just your standard device from Samsung, the A31. Really nice looking device here as well. Software updates and about phone. We can see this phone does run actually One UI version 2.1 and Android version 10. And I think it's running on the June or July security patch. So I'm sure there's going to be an update once I connect it and add everything in. But now going here into the camera for a moment, you have your standard lens there, and you also have your wide angle lens. So really nice stuff there. You have your live focus, which is like your portrait mode. You got video mode, and you have more. So you have your Bixby Vision, AR Zone, Pro Mode, Panorama, Macro Mode, and your food. Okay, let's go back into the camera there. And okay, let's look at the camera here. And up top here is just, you have some filters, beauty mode, all that stuff. This button over here is for Scene Optimizer on or off. Now here in the settings, Scene Optimizer, HEIF pictures, you got rear photo size is full 1080 or 720, so no 4K here on this device. And the front is the same, full 1080 to video recording, high efficiency video, grid lines, shooting methods, watermark, all that kind of stuff here on this device. Now go to the front facing camera, and I'm recording with the Pixel 5, as you can see right there in the background. But this is the front facing camera of the Galaxy A31. So yeah, about the same thing that you've seen earlier. So we got to just test all this out and see how it does. So far it all looks pretty good, but I'm surprised that, you know, Samsung used a MediaTek processor here in this phone. Now I've used the P60 and the P70, and this is right in the middle at the P65. So I'm expecting, you know, the P65 processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, for this phone to run relatively smooth without much issue. Fingerprint scanner, got to get that straightened out because, yeah, no match. That's a problem that I've had with the A50s and just a bunch of different, you know, Samsung devices. But nice vibrant display. I mean, got a bit of a bezel down here at the bottom, which is no big deal for me. But yeah, phone feels pretty smooth here. Got to put my games on it, apps on it, all that kind of good stuff to test it out. But this phone costs around $250, give or take a little bit. And you're getting, you know, a nice camera setup, a nice design, and you're getting all these specs that I mentioned at the beginning of the video for around $250. So if this was helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below. If you're new around here and haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications, and hopefully you'll get notified when I release a new video. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.